Hello and welcome to Confidently Wrong, a show by regular dudes talking with confidence about content we have no right to speak about with any kind of authority, but do it anyway. I'm Wesley Nakamura, and as always, I'm joined by Mike Smith, award-winning director Brian Redondo, and Savon Jones, aka Captain Bonnie. This is episode 63, and we're sharing what we're loving, and Brian's going to let us in on the secret lives of the cultured elite. I'm confident that it's going to be the best show you've ever listened to, and well, hey, if it's not, you can always ask us for a refund.
Incredible!
Welcome back to the pod. We're back for
Month.
another round. A month. That didn't make any sense.
I was responding to Mike's.
Way to interrupt the opening. What we're loving, we're going to go for it.
What we're loving.
Mike, what? That's how the show is gonna go, I guess. Just people, flicking people off and saying "f you" through the Zoom call. I get it.
Whoa, language.
Say anything?
Jesus.
Those are just letters, man. Get over it.
Well, I just had a hand cramp.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then you can start us off, Savon. What are you loving right
right.
now? You don't want to start?
No, me?
No, Savon. Savon doesn't
Savon
wanna start?
flipped a
Bad
double
start.
bird, and now
This
he
is a
doesn't want to
bad
start.
start. All right, go
All
ahead,
right.
Savon.
Who
Let's
wants
hear
to
it.
start? Mike, you want to
Let's-
start?
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I'll
Start
just
us
get it
off,
over
bro.
with.
I
All
want to
right,
hear
so
about
I
this
was-
because my friend Chris at school, Launchschlager, he's really excited.
What grade
about
is
this
he
game.
in?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna flick you
Jesus.
off.
This is
He teaches
chaotic.
AP computer
Okay.
science.
All
Keep
right.
going.
So I was sick last week, so I had to watch a lot of TV. So I caught up on Atlanta, which is really good. I
Hell yeah.
started watching it because I saw a clip where Donald Glover said it's like the best thing since The Sopranos. And I was
He's
like,
not
all right,
wrong.
well, it's okay. So you watched the show, Brian?
Absolutely.
It's really good.
I need to go back to it.
It's really good. I went into it like thinking like, oh, this is just gonna be like comparable to Dave. It's on such another level than Dave. I think it's like it does have kind of like a look at the music industry, but I think it's a lot more social commentary. And it's just like it's really well done. I mean, like he's clearly a genius. He clearly surrounds himself with geniuses. I obviously don't know anything about like the world of hip hop in any type of granular way. But, I think it does seem to like provide like a cool look at coming up in the music industry, obviously from a different lens than what Dave does. And then I think the social, like there's episodes like he'll do things where it's like it's progressing the story, and then one episode will just be it's like a standalone, almost like short. Like this past week's was essentially like a Black Mirror episode about like really specific targeted reparations, and that was like really cool and a powerful thing. And it's just like such an interesting show. I talked to our friend Tyler about it, friend of the show Tyler, who works in the industry, and he seems to really like it and kind of the critique it provides of what it means to come up. So really quality show. I think anybody that, not only if you're into hip hop at all, but I think it's something that most people should watch. Also been watching The Girl of Plainville. Not going to do a lot on that show. It's pretty interesting. I don't know if y'all remember. Do you remember there was that girl that like convinced her boyfriend to kill himself? Who was like, happened in like Massachusetts. So it's about that. Elle Fanning is in it. I have never seen anything with Elle Fanning before. Dakota Fanning's little sister. She is really good. She like portrays a vile character in a really powerful way. So really like that a lot. But what I've been playing is because we were talking in the pre-show about Elden Ring for like half an hour.
Sign up for our Patreon to get access to our pre-show, friends.
Yeah. And you could hear us. You can hear me complain about Elden Ring. So we're all playing Elden Ring. We're all kind of at very different stages in our life with Elden Ring, and I am just mentally exhausted. So I've switched to Lego Star Wars, which just came out, the Skywalker Saga. And I am a big fan. It is a
You don't say.
He's got such a big smile on, guys, right now. Like, he is just
Super
enjoying
cheese.
himself. Yeah.
It is, and I like the Lego shit. Like, I don't play with Legos at all, although I thought about it as an adult. If it wasn't so expensive, who knew Lego's like $1 million?
So expensive.
I've always liked the movies and stuff like that. Obviously the older Lego Star Wars games are classics. So this one is a complete like reimagining of the entire 9-movie arc, and it's just fun. It hits like the same like moments of the stories, but like in its own way. So like progressing through it in the stories is really fun. There's a ton to do. There's a million characters, a million ships in free play. So it's like if you're just like into Star Wars, and it's like if you are, someone who likes not only like the big moments on the movies, but just kind of the entire world, it's just like such like a good love letter to every part of it. And it's like there's all like there's like not memes in it, but there's all these little throwaway lines, all these little references, and it's just clearly such like a thoughtful and fun kind of way to experience Star Wars again. I wish I had like a child I could play the game with like one day. It's because it's just like such a cool, I'm gonna keep saying reimagining because that's what it is. It's just kind of like taking those stories and presenting them in new ways that hits the same moments, but you're experiencing it through that new medium. And I feel like that was exactly what it set out to do, and it's accomplished it. I've only done Phantom Menace because I'm taking times, like there's lots of little open areas where you can explore and do little puzzles and stuff like that. And I'm even excited for Attack of the Clones, which that says a lot about how good the game is.
Do you get to use a lightsaber?
Yeah, dude, the lightsaber combat's really good. It's really funny. It's like there's like blocking and it's like dodging and like these cool little like set pieces, like the Darth Maul fight, which the whole mission is called Better Call Maul.
Nice.
It was so fun, and it like has the Duel of the Fates going, and like the that whole area of the palace and Theed, and it hits it the right notes, but it's like a different instrument.
Which one of you is having like the fire truck go by? What is going on here?
Is that me?
I'm assuming the person living in New York.
What kind of high quality show are we producing here with fire trucks in the background? Tell that fire truck to move.
It's called sound design, Wes. Jeez.
I'm trying to give you some ambiance. We're trying to understand where Brian is.
We're real people.
Here, don't tell.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not in Gotham. I'm in New York. I'm an MCU character over here. It's grounded.
Grounded, yeah, I get it.
You get Anna to play it with you?
No, I've thought about it. If she likes Star Wars, I think she would, but she was like, oh, okay, I'll watch Star Wars with you, and she fell asleep like 10 minutes into A New Hope, so I just don't think that's going to be our relationship. It is something like Brian and his Anna, I think, could play, for sure.
Most of the Star Wars movies aren't good.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, based on how people talk about them, maybe we just got to accept that.
No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Honestly, I feel like Lego Star Wars might be the best way to consume Star Wars.
Yeah, no, it's up there for sure.
It's like not as serious. You don't get frustrated by how dumb some of it gets. Just like, this is right. This feels right.
Yeah.
The best way to be a Star Wars fan is just to never watch Star Wars.
That's true too. Also happens. I wanted to talk about the Adam Project because, I just channel surf, and Netflix serves up things that they think I'm gonna like, and they kind of hit the nail on the head with this one. There's not much to say about the Adam Project in terms of its story or background or premise. It's just a movie where you get to see our good friend Ryan Reynolds do a lot of Ryan Reynoldsing.
Isn't that Deadpool?
Around. It's Deadpool. It's Free Guy. It's The Proposal. It's
Green Lantern.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I saw Green Lantern, but sure. I mean, he's just the same guy in every single show, and I kind of enjoy it. He's kind of smarmy and kind of funny, kind of silly, kind of weak. He's just he plays a great version of himself in every movie, and I enjoyed it. Good 3 out of 10, just a mindless watch. So
3 out of 10. Why is this segment?
No, 3 out of 5. I'm sorry, 3 out of 5.
That's still
I
a
think that was
6.
a Freudian slip, man.
Yeah,
it might have been. It's not.
good.
This
segment is called "What We're Loving." Like this is a very Savon
I loved
we're
it.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, I loved it. It was fun.
I loved it.
Screw y'all.
No,
3 out of 10. Mashed asparagus. 3 out of 10.
Objectively objectively the movie is bad or like not good. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's super enjoyable. I enjoyed him. And
it was
like
bad, not good, but
one
bad,
of the
but enjoyable.
Bad, bad, not good.
One of the gimmicks
there
they
you go.
use is that he like meets his 12-year-old self, I believe, and the kid is also kind of a bag, and he kind of makes fun of himself, and the kid makes fun of
Whoa.
him, and it's I don't know. It's a show that is up my alley. That's all. So
What is this movie about? It's just Ryan Reynolds.
it doesn't matter,
Like doing
yeah.
stand up.
it kind of, yeah. It really doesn't matter what the show is about.
It kind of does.
Nah. All right. I mean, the premise is just that he's a guy that lives in a time period in the future, like 2060 or 2050 or something like that. He's, in the military, and he time jumps back to current day and meets his 12-year-old self, and they deal. They have to figure out how to, solve the problem or whatever is going on in the future. There's also a little bit about like loss, especially of parents. A couple of the characters are dealing with, trying to figure out how to navigate that. So,
Well, that is important.
yeah, but I mean, like it's they're not saying anything new or groundbreaking around those topics. It's just they put it together. It's good. It's not, amazing. It's not going to win an Academy Award in any field of any sort. It's just, it was good. It was entertaining. Great 2-hour movie. Loved it. But I understand
Savon
if somebody,
has a look of you love.
I understand if somebody goes and watches this movie and is like, that was horrible. Like, I don't know. There was nothing
Savon
meaningful
like
in
looks
it.
concerned for you.
Sometimes you don't need everything to be, highbrow, The Wire, or Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 4. Like, not everything needs to be that.
Sometimes you just gotta watch a 6 out of 10 movie.
You're just vibing
And-
to Lego Star Wars. I was vibing to
Yeah,
the
that's
Adam
cool.
Project.
I'm not saying it's bad.
I'm not saying it's bad.
You
It's
said
just
it was
not great.
objectively
You
bad.
said it's bad like 4 times in one sentence.
Do I need to get
3 minutes ago.
receipts?
Sign up for that editing tutorial.
We need to rename between the two of you. We need to rename this segment to like what we're like fine about, like, whatever. Just call it whatever.
I enjoyed it. I was laughing,
Bleh.
had a good time. Yeah,
Did
But
you?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, 3 out of 5.
That is a
Jesus.
D, even with a generous grading scale.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would enjoy it. I mean, but with a 3 out of 5, if I go to a 4, that's like a really good movie. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's there.
You don't have
So,
a decimal?
Gotta
You
no,
teach.
no.
Yeah, you
commit. Make the
To a
commitment.
decimal.
Nah, commit.
Oh my god.
Just commit. We don't need decimals. That's not the point of the system. It's a whole star.
Decimals are...
Get a whole
All right.
star.
All right, moving on.
The star, the
Math.
5-star rating system. There's no decimals. You just get to the star. That's it. If you want to aggregate, then you can use the decimals. That's all. We got
All right,
Mike.
well, all right, let's just go
We
to
got Wes.
Savon. Let's just go to Savon.
Let's go to
hear
Savon.
another
He's been wanting to talk
lukewarm
about the
take.
show for a while. It is very funny. Savon,
Oh, okay,
what
cool.
are
Have you changed your tune on this, Wes? Because before, I believe in your text, you were like, "That's fine."
I mean, that too. But I like it. It's funny. It's funny.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
Everybody
What is
hates
your,
Chris.
like,
Everybody
level
hates
of-
Chris. Best part of the show. That's all it's.
Wes is just like a medium happy person.
Tyler
Maybe
James
that's
Williams.
fine.
Is that his name? I don't know his name.
Yes.
Everybody hates Chris. That's his name.
Tyler
Go.
James Williams.
Go.
Will Smith
What
hates
I'm
Chris.
loving is Abbott Elementary. It is a hilarious ABC comedy starring Quinta Brunson. Some of y'all might know Quinta Brunson from the BuzzFeed days back in like the 2014 era. She was in a lot of their old skits and videos.
Both Brian and Mike were like, huh.
What's her
Nope.
Quinta Brunson.
BuzzFeed did sketch videos.
Uh-huh.
All right, go ahead. Go.
Quinta- I just put her name in the chat.
Fully.
But she's amazing. She stars in it, but she's come a long way. She stars as a teacher in a underachieving Philadelphia public school. She plays the character Janine Teagues. But the show is just hysterical. It's done in the mockumentary style. So if you're someone who's watched The Office, who's watched Parks and Rec, it's one of those types of shows. So there's a lot of fun with the camera work. It's done like a mockumentary, a lot of zoom ins to people's faces, little moments where they're talking to the camera. So it's that style of humor. So not exactly new, but goodness, the execution is just so well done. The show does a good job of exploring the realities of what public education looks like, but not in a sad downer way.
So it's not the third season of The Wire.
Yeah,
or whatever.
it's not a sad vibe show. It's hysterical. The show is actually really wholesome. Like, you can watch this show with your kids, and like, it's not. Most of the inappropriate jokes will probably go over their head. You can watch this with like your slightly older kid, but it's just hilarious. The teacher jokes, as someone I've worked in a school for a while, I still work around and in schools. Mike is a former educator. Wes is an active educator.
I went to school.
Brian was a student for a period of time, and the show just does a great job of. The show does a great job of just bringing every trope you've seen in a school. Like, if you've been in a school, you've met these people. Every cast member of the show is someone I've worked with, or in some cases, I've been that person. And the writing is just really well done.
And they're all exaggerated. I mean, most of them are not exactly how they would be.
You've worked in schools, dude. Are the people in real life not exaggerated as well?
Not to the extent that they are, but
I don't know, bro. I met some.
You're gonna tell me there weren't some? Yeah, for sure. There weren't some characters at the school we worked at, Wes.
I literally have a principal at one of my schools now who sometimes on the morning announcements or afternoon she'll sing on the thing around the school. Like, this is reality is strange. Fiction is stranger than reality sometimes. Amazing principal, by the way. But she's like Ava but competent. But I think one of the but in terms of personality, but I think one of the biggest strengths of the show is they do a really good job of, like, this isn't a show that I would say, oh, it's only accessible to like a black audience, but it doesn't whitewash the fact that the characters are still black and have black culture references in a way that's very organically done. So even some of the older, like, there's the point where the character Ava makes like a hilarious Jill Scott reference. And if you know who Jill Scott is, you know exactly why the joke is amazing. But if you don't know who Jill Scott is, it's completely reasonable why that joke would go over your head. And the show kind of toes the line between, there's lots of cultural moments that I can appreciate as a black American, especially as one who is an educator, but it doesn't feel like this show was written for a primarily black audience either. And that's a really tricky line to toe, and it's like, it's small, but it's something I really appreciate. Because a lot of the characters who aren't black still have, I guess, one character, what's her name? I think, is it Kathy? The one who's like the hardcore, Melissa.
Italian one?
The Melissa.
Yeah.
She's just this hardcore Italian lady, and this Philly Italian lady.
South Philly, born and bred, man.
Yeah, which it just do a good job of really making characters true to where they're from. Like, all her South, like, there's clearly a lot of Philly tropes that some jokes go over my head, but they did their homework. And Quinta Brunson is from Philly, so it makes sense, but the show is just very organic, and a lot of the jokes are very natural, and it's very wholesome and enjoyable. And again, you'll learn about how education works in public schools, but it won't make you super sad. And I appreciate that.
100% cosign. I love this show as well. And I feel like every character on the show, like, I have met that human being before in real life and know how outrageous that human being is. Like, they are in that show. So
I was Gregory. I was Gregory for a long time. And
you?
Oh my goodness, bro!
Just side-eyeing people and being quiet. Doing your job diligently.
Yes, I used to get flamed for having a really drab office. People say my office was like a prison cell. I used to get like the not knowing what to do, like kids wanting artwork stuff. And I'm like, dude, what you want me to do with this? Like, too many. Being one of the only just black males in the building.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I used to be like, oh, thank you. Just put it in my desk.
Were you also getting sexually harassed by the women in your workplace?
Goodness.
So what do y'all think? You can move on.
Okay.
Moving on. No.
Next. All right, Brian, what you loving?
So, aside from my million hours invested into Elden Ring and just getting owned all the damn time, there is another video game that has been overshadowed by the lands between, and it's not just Horizon Forbidden West. It's also this game that I was playing a lot of right before I got Elden Ring, which is Ollie Ollie World, and kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier. This game is like pure vibes. It's a skateboarding game that is nothing like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series, which is a great thing. As great as those games were, as much as I love them, this skateboarding game is more of a 2D side scroller that takes kind of a Jet Set Radio style and approach. Like meets like Adventure Time. So it's all these animated characters, very bright poppy colors. They look silly, they have fun, and it really just brings out the joy of skateboarding, right? Like in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you're like listening to punk rock music, and it's kind of gritty and has the street aesthetic of skateboarding. In Ollie Ollie World, it's about Nirvana, hitting the Nirvana of skateboarding, and just like being one with the ramps and your board, and tricking out and listening to great music. The soundtrack of this game is stellar. Like I have legit put down my controller to just turn up the music and start dancing in my living room. Is that good? It's all very like K-Tronada, end of the spectrum of EDM. Wes, I know you don't know who that is, but it's like very, very like groovy house type EDM.
Is it original music or is it licensed?
I think it's probably licensed. So it's all good. As like really good.
Nice.
And so you're just a character in this like made up world, very Adventure Time-ish. In the backgrounds, you'll see like giant trees with smiley faces walking around, or you'll see like giant ice cream cones, like eating other ice cream cones, like very weird, bizarre, surreal stuff. And then the gameplay itself is super fun because unlike Tony Hawk, where you're like trying to master the button combinations to do things right, all the skateboarding stuff is really joystick based. So your left and right joysticks are the things that you flick to be able to flick the board, basically. And so it actually lets the gameplay feel like you're actually doing the skateboarding, right?
That's like your feet, like trying to
yeah, exactly.
flip the board.
You have to and then you're doing like spins and stuff with the joystick, so it feels a lot smoother than just hitting a button and pressing it down and trying to memorize combinations. Like every time you go off a ramp, maybe you're pushing the joystick in one direction, or you're doing like a circular motion with the other one, and then maybe on your landing you would smash a button to nail the landing, right? Which makes sense in context of what it would feel like to skateboard. So to me, as somebody who doesn't do that stuff but has always wanted to, it feels really cool, and I'm into the vibe and just like just that cool energy that I imagine you would get from grinding some rails in
what
these
skateboard level are
cartoonish
you
worlds.
in real life? What skateboard level are you?
I'm like negative 85.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you get on
Like-
the board?
I could only skateboard if I were built like the Michelin Man, and like completely impervious to damage and pain.
I like the pain edition, not just damage.
Yeah.
I think I'm level like 0.2. I can get on the board and go straight if the ground is flat and not bumpy. That's my level. I don't know
think
if I
I
can
could
turn.
stand up on it and then move about 5 inches. That's about it.
Savon, can you skate?
No.
No?
No.
I don't know.
I can
don't understand.
rollerblade and skate. Like I can skate, but not skateboard.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty
absolutely
cool,
not.
though. I can't even do that. I'm like hugging the wall at a skate rink.
Oh no, I can like skate pretty well. But skateboard, nah, I would step on it, fall, and die.
Well, that's what we're loving. Feel free to hit us up if you want to talk more about those things or you want to check them out and you need more info. Brian, is Ollie Ollie World available on all gaming systems? What's the deal?
It is, but I highly recommend it on
Okay.
Multiplayer?
the Nintendo Switch. They got leaderboards and stuff. There's no real multiplayer in it.
Okay.
Dope. So our next segment, we've created a new segment here. We'll see if we can continue it going. If any of us has a what we'd call sophisticated palate, it's certainly going to be the award-winning director Brian Redondo.
Multiple award winning.
Multiple award-winning. I'm sorry. Now I need to add that to the show. The man is into jazz on vinyl. He sips cognac out of a snifter in his bathrobe.
Yes, a snifter. I have two.
I like this kid.
Taste?
His and hers.
Taste cannot be bought or faked, my friends. You either have it or you don't. And our main man, Brian, well, he's got it. So what makes Brian's list today?
Thank you for that kind and generous introduction, Wesley.
Keith Sweat.
Quiet Storm. Well, so I think I would like to call this segment, working title, Hi Brian, Hi Brow. And I really want to bestow a modicum of sophistication to plebeians with some investigations and explorations of the culture that we are all consuming. I don't know how long I can go with this.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
My face hurts.
But today, in today's inaugural launch edition of this segment, I want to talk about a movie that just had its wide release yesterday called Everything Everywhere All at Once. And this is the multiverse movie to undercut all multiverse movies. I'm looking at you, Doctor Strange, and the Multiverse of Madness. You're in trouble. Because outside of the MCU, believe it or not, there are filmmakers who are creative and daring and courageous that are making unique, one-of-a-kind material that you have never seen before. They are not just regurgitating same old ideas. They're not just rebooting things endlessly into infinity. And so this movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, takes the idea of a multiverse and gives it depth, it gives it existentialism, it gives it heart, it gives it sincerity, and it gives it bonkers action that is unlike any other movie watching experience. So the premise of this movie that stars Michelle Yeoh, action star legend Michelle Yeoh, she is an immigrant in California running a laundromat. She is sad, depressed, discontented with her work and family life. She's trying to juggle a daughter who is bringing a girlfriend home, doesn't know how to deal with that. A husband who's kind of like hapless, happy-go-lucky, she doesn't feel like he's really helping very much. And then she's got her father visiting from, I believe, China or Hong Kong or something like that, who is, has lots of expectations for her and always judging everything that's going on in their lives. And they're about to go through an awful IRS audit. So she's in a miserable place.
Damn, everything's falling apart for her.
Everything's falling apart. But then something weird happens. She gets pulled into a multiverse of madness. And essentially, in this film, there is somebody within the multiverse who has learned how to navigate it and is coming out to kind of destroy all the other worlds. Tell me if you've heard that one before. And they think that only Michelle Yeoh can be the person that stops this antagonist. And so she needs to learn how to navigate through the multiverse. And in this world, in this particular movie, the way to access the multiverse is by doing something completely bizarre and uncalled for in order to change the trajectory of your individual personhood to jump to another version of yourself, right? Because the basic premise is that, there are infinite versions of you, let's say Savon. There are infinite versions of Savon. But if he had just made one different decision, if he had just like made this one train or was exposed to this one person, that Savon would be completely changed and there would be a new version of him. So Michelle Yeoh,
I don't know. Our boy Savon is a 101, Brian. I'm not sure.
Seriously,
sure.
more than
put
one
a different
Savon,
name in there.
I don't even know if I could handle. I can barely handle one
Savon.
Savon.
That's Savon.
Infinite.
Y'all not ready for that.
Infinite Savon. Imagine if he could access his other versions. So that's exactly what Michelle Yeoh does in this film, and every version is wackier, crazier than the rest. There is like There is the sausage finger version. There is the cool opera singer version. There is the action star version. There's the laundromat version. There's like the ancient Chinese world kung fu version, right? So there are all these different multiverse versions of all the characters actually in this film. And so the film zips back and forth between all of them in the craziest of paces. But really it just becomes a sandbox for the Daniels to play in. And who are the Daniels? The Daniels are the directing tandem behind this film. And they're known for Swiss Army Man, which was a movie where Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, plays a dead body through the whole movie. That Paul Dano is using the dead body to help himself get out of, a bad survivalist situation, right? And like the body's like farting and has erections and stuff like that, and he's using them in a Swiss Army knife kind of way. So they're known for that. They're known for like the Turn Down for What music video, where one of the Daniels. So the Daniels is two guys named Daniel. So one of the Daniels has like a bouncing raging penis, essentially, that you see in his crotch, like through his sweatpants, that is just like destroying all this furniture and basically floors in an apartment building. This is a music video.
Oh, this is famous for this. Turn Down for What? Okay.
The Turn Down, and then like he passes on that abilities to the other tenants of the building. So like one of them gets like crazy bouncing boobs that destroys tables and stuff like that. You've seen this music.
They're crashing through the different floors.
They crash through the different floors, right? Yeah. So basically the Daniels are like this wild, visually creative duo who basically develop all their films and music videos around a singular special effects driven concept, basically a sight gag. They develop everything around a sight gag, but take it to such extremes that it transforms into high art, if you will, into elevated. something exactly something elevated. And wild and unexpected. It's always incredibly fun, but also, also nuanced at the same time. Some of their other recent films, there's like one about pockets where a guy gets pickpocketed, but it turns out like that pocket is just a gateway into other people's pockets. So they have this crazy street fight where they're like going through each other's pockets and trying to hit one another, and then it all kind of climaxes in a hot pocket. So you could kind of like tell by that trajectory the way that the Daniels operate. So in Everything Everywhere All at Once, they're using this conceit of multiverses and the key to unlock the multiverse is by doing something ridiculous. So, for example, one character, to unlock his other self, he gives himself paper cuts in between his fingers, and he's got to do like 4 of them. So you're like sitting in the theater watching this guy give himself paper cuts, and you can hear the entire theater groan and wince as he's trying to do that. But then once he accesses his kung fu self, and he does some crazy stuff with a fanny pack. So it's all like very, very wild, very into the concept, but they're doing it in a winky way. Like you can tell that they're just having a good time with all these things, and it allows them to cycle through a lot of other films. So in Everything Everywhere All at Once, they go through, they do Ratatouille, they do... They do sort of like a Crouching Tiger kind of thing. They do In the Mood for Love, which I've talked before, which is like the, art house, Hong Kong romance movie. They also do some really absurd things, right? Like they just have 2 piñatas talking on screen for a while. At one point, like one of the characters does a bong hit off of a gun. Like, it's just like, It's just wild for them to play with.
Should I just get wrecked and go to this movie?
Yeah, I know. That's what this sounds like a movie one should see.
Just wrecked.
What's the word?
No. So It sounds like it would be. It sounds like it would just be them doing goofy stuff to do it, but they're able to tie it all together in such a poignant way where they are talking about existentialism, they talk about nihilism, and they're talking about intergenerational immigrant families that obviously have a lot of pain and struggle to deal with. And so all of that come together really fittingly. Anna, of course, cried during the movie. Like, can you imagine a movie where somebody
just
has
likes the
sausage
bomb
fingers,
rip
but people
scenes?
are also
Yeah.
crying in the theater? Like, that's how creative and just talented the Daniels are. So I think it's a multiverse movie to end all multiverse movies, my friends. So apparently
Marvel.
the Daniels turned down the Loki TV show, right?
Oh,
So
really? And then
they
said,
went,
screw it, I'm going to do my own multiverse?
they went and
I like
made this
that.
instead. Yeah. But
They
this
clearly
movie's-
hate money, but okay.
yeah, I mean, like maybe they
artists.
feel good
I
about
doubt
where
they're
they are.
starving.
Yeah. This movie was actually produced by the Russo brothers, which is kind of interesting. So
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like maybe at some point they will make a turn towards Marvel, but for now they're fine playing in their own sandbox.
Okay, I have two questions.
Go for it.
Oh God.
Okay. First question is, this was produced by A24.
Yes, and A24 only produces
Okay,
quality
okay.
stuff.
That explains a lot.
How is A24? I don't even know who runs A24. Like, how are they getting all these movies that end up on everybody's sort of a zeitgeist of those movies I gotta see?
A24 does that because they have good taste. I don't
Yeah,
know.
is that just it?
They've found their niche, right? It's a lot of kind of indie highbrow stuff, but willing to take it into places that aren't just, tearjerker dramas, like maybe
Or
other,
scary.
or other indie films. Yeah, they do horror movies, right? They're responsible for Hereditary and Midsummer, in those movies.
Those are
which are
scary
phenomenal.
movies, tell you what.
They did the Green Knight, which is a
That's
which
another
is a
good
genre movie on its face, but done in a way that is executing at an extremely high level in terms of cinema quality. So yeah, they're a studio that knows how to churn this stuff out, because nobody's making this kind of stuff anymore, right? Like, nobody is daring enough or has like the budget to really get these things off the ground anymore. And while all the big studios are focused on doing reboots and franchises and superhero stuff, essentially.
All right, I think I have a good second question. So the Daniels, which I like that they're called the Daniels. That's great. I've never heard of them. I've never seen any of their movies before. Not even haven't seen them. I've never heard of them before. This one I've heard about a ton. I've heard other people come up to me and like, hey, are you going to see everywhere, everything everywhere all at once? It's getting quite a bit of buzz. Why is this the movie that sort of catapulted them into the atmosphere or the stratosphere rather than some of their previous movies? Like, what
Rather
makes this
than the
one
turn down
special?
for what music video?
Yeah, well, by the way,
I mean-
I just YouTubed that video is insane. Holy cow, I've never
That
seen this
song
before.
is insane. That came out when me and Savon were freshmen in college, and I have like a visceral response when I hear that song.
I love
Which is
this song.
exactly what
Yeah, but you
happens
can't
in the
pretend you
video.
wasn't lit. Yeah, but hey, you can't pretend when that
Exactly.
first wasn't up in there. You wasn't getting
Oh,
jiggy
jeez.
with it,
This
bro.
song is so good.
I don't
but
even
the
like
video
that
is
song, but I'll
crazy.
turn up for what? For that. That's what.
Your junk is bouncing up and down and just destroying your TV set.
Just another Tuesday.
So their previous film, Swiss Army Man, which is mild. I think it's out there. Like, people know about it. It's not
Only
as
the sophisticated people like you, though. I mean, the lowbrow folks.
those
like
are
us,
the
we
people,
never heard about it.
right? Are there other people? No. So I think that film. I actually haven't seen that film, but from what I understand, it maybe didn't succeed fully. Right? That was their first feature length movie, and so I think they probably learned a lot from that. Now doing everything everywhere all at once. And I think part of the difference is, so here, my main criticism of all Daniel's work before was that it really is, in a way, it is very gimmicky, right? And it can kind of just be that gimmick. And so Swiss Army Man, that gimmick might have only ran so far. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is also a very personal movie, right? It's an immigrant story. One of the Daniels is Chinese American. So I think it feels a little bit more personal. It feels like there's a lot more sincerity than some of their other work. And it's an action movie, right? It's Michelle Yeoh and Ki Kwan, by the way, who steals a lot of the scenes, who the childhood actor Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It's him. He's playing a middle-aged guy, and this dude steals almost every scene. So they're doing their martial arts thing throughout the movie. So that's an easy jumping on point for a lot of people. It's an Asian American, immigrant family story. I think that also lends itself to it being more easily grasped and enjoyable by audiences. And it's just good. You're right. Like the critical acclaim for this movie is pretty high. So I think that is also boosting up its visibility in the culture.
I'm sold.
Yeah. I think you guys got to watch it, and we should talk about it.
Me and
Oh,
PK
yeah, I'm gonna
are
watch
going to
this.
check it
That's
out next
easy.
weekend. What'd you say?
That's easy. I'll see this.
Savon's sold too. I mean, jeez.
I mean, I saw
Brian's
the trailers
list
before,
is
and I was like, it
successful.
looked cool, and I was like, oh, multiverse. So it always looked like a cool concept, but you selling, you absolutely sold me on it. But
Well, the trailer doesn't give a lot away, right? I think I've seen the trailer
That's
twice
Savon's
before
whole
a couple
thing.
of movies.
Probably
Yeah,
is
maybe that's
even
why.
more intrigued.
I saw the trailers for it. I knew it was like a super absurdist type of thing, but I can be a bit wary about absurdist stuff.
Yeah.
It can be
It
very
could
feast
just
or
be that.
famine for me, but I trust Brian's opinion. Brian doesn't have bad takes, so
No,
Wow.
he's
Yeah.
got a
Wow,
sophisticated
segment is a
palate.
success.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Brow. That's been
You're
our
welcome.
presentation of our
It's
newest
been
segment.
my esteemed honor and privilege to present this
Here
to
we
you.
back with that. Listen, where did that accent go?
I really do think you should keep that accent the whole time. It would be great.
You sound like Steven in Moon Knight.
Bye from the
you should go
gift
for the
shop.
you should just be Key Sweat on the Sweat Hotel. And just...
I'm a gift shopist.
Yeah, I'm a gift shopist. I didn't know that was
All
a
right,
thing.
all right. Wesley, wrap the show up.
All right. Well, should we bring that segment back? I think it was good. I think it was successful. We'll see.
When you got-
Tell
yeah,
us,
when you see
people out there, do you want more from Brian bringing us the cutting edge, bleeding edge from the world of cognac drinking, vinyl listening, segment out there? Let
If
us
you
know.
enjoy the finer things of life.
Yeah.
sipping on wine.
Yeah, tell us. Do you want to keep it going? We'll bring it back in the future for sure once Brian has sampled some more of the finer things in life. Let's wrap up the show there. Hit us up on our socials at confidently_pod. That's Instagram, that's Twitter for sure. Visit all of our sponsors. I think we should be sponsored by A24 after this one. We're going to be driving people to the movie theaters on this. So A24, if you're out there, you owe us a little bit of, $1.24, something like that. Send it in. Send us a check. You can send it here to Austin. I'll cash that for you. And we're out of here. That's a good one. Bye, friends. Mike, go play with your friends.
Toodles.